Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 268 of your favourite Formula 1 show. Yes, Knowing Wheel returns this week out to preview the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Of course, as always, I'm joined by Jamie183. How are we doing, sir?
Doing well, yes. Excited for another race week, of course, and as much as my hopium is kind of all but gone for Max Verstappen 5th World Championship this year, we've still got some good races to come, and Vegas is always quite a fun one. So,
in all the 2 races we've ever done, Vegas has been okay.
Is it really only 2? It feels like it's been around longer than that, to be honest. But
no, 23 and 24.
I wonder if we've got Bruce Buffer doing the intros again for the drivers.
I hope not, in a word.
Yeah, thankfully it's all happening at 4 a.m, so we won't see it anyway.
No, I'm certainly not going to get up at 3:30 just to see him do the intros, if he is. But yeah, obviously Vegas this weekend. I mean, we've got a triple header now between now and the end of the season, don't we, Jamie? So it's going to come thick and fast. Episodes of Knowing Wheel, which of course is, I think for a lot of people, what you look forward to from a Grand Prix weekend, isn't it? Is
the podcast.
I was going to say 2 middle-aged men, but we're not quite that
we're not
old.
Mid-20s.
No,
we'll take that.
Mid-20s. Yeah, we're on our quarter-life crisis. That's why we're doing the podcast.
That's why I got a podcast and a marathon training plan. Perfect.
Exactly. Perfect. Bob on. Yeah, I mean, like we said, Vegas is normally quite an interesting Grand Prix. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because obviously it's, the last couple of years it's been incredibly cold. Now, they've brought the race effectively forwards, 2 hours, backwards, 2 hours. It's 2 hours earlier in the evening for our American viewers. And, of course, that means it's 2 hours earlier in the morning for us here in Europe. But before we get into that, we need to do a kind of old, almost mantra, if you will, of Knowing Wheel, Jamie. Because people might be thinking it's very odd that we're recording this on a Tuesday for a Grand Prix preview show. And it's because, Taylor Swift 183 over there is deciding he's going out travelling this week. Talk us through where you're off.
I'm going to... what's it? Is it when you dox yourself? You just tell people where you are, and then people can swat you.
Have you seen? Apparently now there's an AI website that you can post people's pictures on, and it can work out exactly where they were posted on Google Earth.
Well,
that's really scary.
The guy who does GeoGuessr could.
They're basically him, yeah.
So I am. This is Tuesday morning as we record this. Probably when this goes out, I'll be at a work conference in Telford, which is really, really exciting. Called the Healthcare
That
Supply
might be
Association.
the most boring thing you've ever said.
And we have a Formula 1 podcast for 268 episodes, and that's the most boring thing I've ever said.
Exactly.
And then, I'm effectively away Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I drive back to my home on Friday.
Your humble
and
abode.
then almost immediately, basically change the bag of stuff I'm taking and fly to Geneva for the weekend. So it's safe to say I'm not... as bad as it is for Matt getting up at 4 a.m. to watch the Las Vegas Grand Prix, for me it'll be 3 a.m. because on Sunday I'll be in Geneva.
You'll be an hour ahead. I'm not even sure I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. In fact, I don't even think Last 212 is going to let me get up at 4 a.m. For the Grand Prix. So I'm probably just going to watch either Sky the VOD back or something when I get up 8 or something like that. I don't know. I normally have a line at a weekend because I'm normally up at 6:30 in the week. I'm gonna
see today. What a guy! This is the man you're
I know exactly. Exactly. This is how I get so many videos done. Is I'm normally awake between the hours of 6:30 and 11 p.m.
Nice.
So I'm just awake most of the time, just constantly creating videos and podcasts and all that good stuff that you guys have come to know and love.
Is this a job interview or a podcast?
It's a bit of both, actually. I'm looking for work now, so if anybody wants to hire me, I'm available for many hours. So obviously Jamie183 flying away, off, whether he's skiing or working in skiing or just skiing or maybe working. Apparently he works as well in between all the skiing.
Occasionally, yeah.
Occasionally. But yeah, I mean, triple header towards the end of the year. Lando Norris has got a, 24-point buffer?
Yes.
Ahead of Oscar Piastri. Obviously
Indeed.
Max Verstappen, he needs to finish
49
second
points
behind Lando to keep his mathematical hopes alive, doesn't he? Or he needs to beat Lando, ideally, doesn't he?
He's got to come out this weekend within 58 points, technically, hasn't he, to keep it alive?
Yes.
He's currently 49 behind.
Yep.
So, if Lando wins and Verstappen is third or lower, then it's done for Verstappen.
Yeah.
But really, it's been done since about May.
About Australia. Oh no, he did
Yes.
have a bit of a chance after like Imola still, didn't he? Because he won a couple of races.
he really shouldn't have won Japan or Imola, but greatest driver on the grid,
exactly.
so we'll take that.
I mean, how on earth? I watched back. I think it was like the 8-minute highlights of Japan. I still don't get why McLaren didn't alternate their strategy. It's like rule number 1 of any 2 versus 1. It's just alternate your strategies. So stupid. So stupid.
It was. But sadly, the hope is gone. I'm now completely in acceptance that Lando Norris is winning the World Championship.
So when the McLarens take each other out and Verstappen wins this weekend, is the hope back again?
Yeah.
Because it's very much just been up and down this year, hasn't it?
It's
One
a roller
week you've got
coaster.
hope, the next week you've got no hope, then you've got hope again.
Yeah. And you
then
know
all
what?
hope is
I'm
lost.
going to make a serious point here because there's a lot of negativity towards Lando Norris on social media among the F1 world generally. What's weird with Norris is either like massively overly positive or stupidly negative attitude towards him. I would argue...
He's a bit like Marmite, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. No one's neutral towards Lando Norris. I would argue that since the crash in Canada, he's been driving extremely well overall, and especially since the DNF in Zandvoort, he's driven like a world champion. So
this is exactly what I keep saying at the moment. As much as I would still rather Oscar wins the championship, and I would say over the course of the entire year, I still would argue that Oscar's maybe been slightly better on
I disagree
average. Maybe not anymore. But I would say especially kind of these last few races when the pressure's really ramped up, Lando has not put a foot wrong in the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's hit a new level really in terms of like the Q3 runs in Brazil for the main qualifying.
He was basically just fastest right every session in both Mexico and Brazil.
Yeah, and especially the Q3 in Brazil where he messed up his first lap and he was effectively 10th. After the first runs, and then pulled it out the bag and put it on pole position. I feel like the Lando Norris in 2024 wouldn't have done that.
No, not a chance.
And I think 2024's kind of half attempt at winning a world championship really is helping him.
It was
now.
never really on. I always kind of again, I'm not a Lando Norris fan by any stretch, but I always kind of... I understand, obviously, they want to try and hype it up for marketing, but no one actually believed it was really on.
No, but I do think that experience of getting towards the end of a season... in the fight, or in the mix at least, I think is really helping him now, because I think Oscar Piastri has kind of collapsed recently. And it's not even like he's making loads of errors. Certainly not anymore. I think obviously Baku and Kota Sprint was pretty bad on Piastri. But it's just the pace has gone. He's just not quick anymore, which is super odd. And whether it's Norris has just taken it up a level that Piastri can't come with, or it's just the pressure's getting to him. Maybe you should have picked Sebastian Vettel.
Or, of course,
as
some of the
mentor.
upgrades. Yeah, or of course some of the upgrades that have gone on to that. To be fair, Sebastian Vettel later on in his career wasn't great at looking up championships, was he? It's really odd, isn't it? Because to be fair as well to Oscar, historically Kota and Mexico have been bad tracks for him. But I remember we spoke about this, I think it was after Barcelona, and even a couple of races since then, like Austria for example as well. All of the tracks that Lando had been way better than Oscar at last year, Oscar ramped it up this year and was either on par or, for example, Barcelona, Lando had never been out-qualified by a teammate and Oscar casually put like 3/10 on him in the end. But this year, obviously, up to obviously after Austria as well, I think we kind of were expecting maybe a similar story in Mexico and Kota, which again have been two tracks that Lando has historically been pretty good at. And for the first time really all year, Oscar, the gap was exactly the same as it was last year. Vegas, I personally still think, and I've said this for so long now, I still think Vegas could be championship defining in the sense of, I think whoever comes out on top this weekend, if Lando beats Oscar, it's done before Abu Dhabi. If Oscar beats Lando, it's going to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably fair. I personally, just Oscar's form at the moment is just horrendous. I know Lando's not particularly good at Vegas in the past, but I think...
McLaren haven't been.
Yeah,
it's just
McLaren
not really a
haven't
track
been
that
either.
suits their car.
Yeah. I just think on current form, I don't see a world where Piastri beats Norris, personally.
No. Not even
Verstappen-
Qatar, that's historically been a very good Piastri track.
He's not beaten Norris since Zandvoort.
No.
He's not actually beaten either of his championship rivals since Zandvoort, which is crazy.
Mad, isn't it?
Verstappen's also on a casual 7-race podium streak at the moment, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think Norris has got it wrapped up already, to be honest. And unless he has an absolute stinker and crashes out of Vegas, like he did in 2023, and Piastri gets on the podium, then I think it's Norris's to lose, absolutely.
Well, he's got a 24-point lead. It's Norris's to lose anyway
Yeah,
at the
exactly,
moment.
exactly.
That's just what happens. In the same way it was Piastri's to lose for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to, doesn't it? I mean, you could still talk about, a potential mechanical or something like that. For some reason, I've just got in my head that, like, this weekend we're going to see an Antonelli-Verstappen collision or something. That's going to mean then Verstappen's knocked out of it in, like, a really unceremonious way.
Well, possibly. I mean, what is it? 49 points. Yeah. So if Verstappen doesn't score, it's basically done. Because Norris is definitely going to get a top 5, isn't he?
Well, this is the thing though with that McLaren. It might, I could end up seeing them in like a 5th and 6th or something like that.
Well, that's what happened last year, wasn't it, in Vegas? When they had the fastest car most of the time that part of the season.
Yeah, it's one of those really, really odd ones, isn't it? I think it's really kind of Qatar. I think we're all kind of expecting it to probably be a McLaren track. Although I guess obviously with the tyre rules as well, and Abu Dhabi again in theory should be quite a McLaren-based track. But yeah, it's really, really just kind of interesting. I think everybody's kind of thinking, obviously, Mercedes dominated Vegas last year. Obviously, George Russell winning that Grand Prix. Ferrari are just weird. No one really knows what they're going to be able to do or where they might deliver, but they might deliver somewhere. Obviously, Verstappen won Monza earlier on this year, which is probably the closest track we have to Vegas on the calendar.
Baku,
I think
probably.
Baku, well, I'm trying to think, because Vegas doesn't have that many slow speed corners, does it?
I guess, but then Max won Baku as well. So
exactly, yeah. It's just a bit of a mute point. But of course, obviously, McLaren then have had momentum more recently again. So it's very, very kind of weird, isn't it? And I think predictions, I mean, obviously we'll talk about those in just a few minutes, because they're kind of a bit all over the show, and I need to pull something out of the bag this weekend. What I really want to see, though, Jamie, and maybe there's a chance of this, maybe it's possible, I want to see an Andrea Kimi Antonelli win. Just for the pure fact, it would be hilarious that he can't drink the champagne.
Well, on the podium period would mean that is the case. Although that did happen before, didn't it, with Verstappen in 2017 in Kota? Well, I mean, he ended up getting a penalty, but there were all the jokes at the time where the only reason they penalised him is because he couldn't drink the champagne.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he probably can drink the champagne. If I'm because in the UK, you're not allowed to purchase alcohol, but you can drink it.
No, the US is strict 21. Well, I say strict. It's 21, yeah.
Fair enough.
No, in the UK, you can legally drink at home at 5 years old with your parents' supervision.
Yeah.
That's how great the UK is, ladies and gents.
On the Corona in 2005.
I bet Jamie was the kind of kid that claimed he got drunk off a G2O.
Well, I thought
I'm really feeling it now.
I thought Schler was alcoholic till about age 18. There you go.
Oh man, brilliant.
Yes, but moving swiftly on. There's a bit of tea that has come from the Formula 1 subreddit, which is obviously a great place of information.
It's a perfectly valid source.
Exactly. And according to the source of Dude Trust Me, Alpine...
You know a guy that knows a guy.
Exactly. Alpine have obviously abandoned their factory for the engine manufacturing in Viry for quite a while now because of the engine freeze. But they obviously started development on a 2026 power unit a while ago, only to then get wound up and those people who the engineers have had to go and find something else to do. Some of them ended up at Ferrari. I think quite a lot of them did, because obviously Viry to Maranello is not a million miles away. Although it's probably a good 10 or 12 hour drive, I'd imagine. But relatively speaking, it's not that far.
Would have been better off going to Sauber.
Yeah, but then where's?
I guess their Audi development isn't there, is it?
Is that in Stuttgart?
That's just where they're doing the chassis.
Where is Audi's engine?
No, Audi isn't Stuttgart.
Is it just Munich? I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah.
You used to work for them, so you should know really. But
I didn't work for Audi.
Yeah, you worked for Sauber though.
Yeah, I know. Bavaria.
Bavaria is just the whole
Nürburgring.
region, isn't it? Oh, Neuburg. Okay.
Yeah, Neuburg.
And
Bicester. They're working at a Bicester village on the weekends.
Great. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So these Alpine engineers.
You got distracted by Bicester Village.
I did. Is that the town that's spelt like Bicester?
Yeah, because you live in the north, so you don't understand how we pronounce things down here. There's a town near me, chat, called Cirencester, that Jamie183 thought was Cirencester, which was hilariously painful.
Well, it's like Leicester. Like
no, it's Leicester. It's Leicester, my friend.
Yes, I know. I know what Leicester is.
I'm not sure.
He's the guy you ring on GTA.
Oh, dear. It's so bad.
Anyway, these Alpine engineers who we used to work on the abandoned Alpine power unit, which we didn't have that high hopes for, have gone to Ferrari, and basically the word on the street is the Ferrari 2026 power unit is quite significantly behind where the Alpine power unit was before it got abandoned. And this has been kind of corroborated by Pierre Gasly, who has said certain teams will be found out by the power unit in 2026. Obviously, that probably doesn't include Alpine anymore because they're going to Mercedes. So,
well, hopefully not. If it includes Mercedes, that's half the teams down the drain.
Exactly. 5 teams are powered by Mercedes next year. So we might get like a 2-tier system of the Mercedes teams versus
Mercedes are Formula 1.5.
Well, exactly. The Mercedes are just, all the points are taken by Mercedes, McLaren, Aston, Williams, Alpine every week.
It'll be like the Ford DFV days. I can't remember which Grand Prix it was in. I think it was like the 1976 British Grand Prix or something, where every car apart from Ferrari was Ford DFV.
Yeah, crazy. And so 5 Mercedes-powered teams. Obviously, you've got 3 Ferrari-powered teams in Ferrari,
Cadillac,
Haas
and
Cadillac.
Yeah.
Audi are obviously doing their own thing. Red Bull and Toro Rosso are doing their own thing with Red Bull powertrains.
Toro Rosso.
Who's Aston with? Oh, Aston with Honda.
Honda. Yep.
Who's the 5th Mercedes-powered team then?
Oh no, it is 4, isn't it? Because they're losing
4,
Honda and gaining Alpine. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see what comes about in 2026. But we might be here seeing Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc struggle to get out of Q1.
Will they make Q2 this week?
Yeah. It'll be a 2020 repeat. But 2026 is all up in the air. We'll get into it obviously over the winter, I'm sure. But I'm slightly concerned we might get a 2014 repeat. Well,
the thing is as well, we talk about all this. We still don't actually know for sure whether the sport is going to be engine limited again. Because obviously it's all the stuff about active aero. I think obviously it's going to be about energy recovery.
Yeah.
Is going to be important. But obviously we don't know how important aero is going to be.
No, exactly. So, and in 2017 when they tried to make it all about the aerodynamics, all it really did was make the cars really draggy, and then the engine became more important as a result.
It wasn't as important as it was in the years before, but it was still very important, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the engine is always going to be important because obviously it just gives you more tuning window to do with the rest of the car.
And power,
having more power, unless you're talking back in the 80s where you got like 1,200 horsepower, and the chassis is just getting twisted constantly. Having more power in modern Formula 1 isn't really a bad thing. Unless it's causing reliability issues,
and to quote Jeremy Clarkson, I believe in speed.
Speed and power. Power and speed.
Yes, but we will see. It would be very funny if Ferrari are horrendous.
Yeah, maybe for you.
It would be for me, very funny.
I just spend all of next year crying. If Ferrari are that bad, knowing wheel ends, I can't take it anymore.
And Ollie Behrman takes the seat for 27 as well when they're good.
Brit Ferrari in the Ferrari at long last.
Exactly. Right, we should stop waffling. What are we doing? There's some World Championship fights, and one of them in particular, which I know no one cares about, but I do. I'm interested to see how it plays out the rest of the season, because currently, between Nico Hülkenberg in P9 and, I mean, arguably right down to, who is that? Yuki Tsunoda in 17th. There are 15 points, which... quite a few of the midfielders this year have just got random podiums, apart from Lewis Hamilton. So that could be
He's
one
not
race.
a midfielder, he's sixth, he just can't get a podium.
Oh, dear.
Actually, that must be one of the highest... I wonder what the highest ever championship finishing position is without scoring a podium all year. He's got to be right up there, surely. Unless you're looking at maybe a 2007. Oh no, because even then
Everyone
the drivers
got a
didn't get
podium for
disqualified,
07.
did they? Yeah. What is because someone let us know in the comments, what is the highest position someone has ever finished in a Formula One championship without bagging a podium?
I bet
Because that's got to be right up there.
I mean, Hulk finished 8th.
I'm trying to think, maybe 1982.
It could be like the 50s when you survive the season, you finish 5th in the World Championship. Yeah. So, but I bet in the modern era that certainly is it. Finishing 6th without a podium.
When do you count the modern era? I guess is the
like 80s onwards maybe.
It was definitely. Oh no, it can't have been 82 because everybody won a race, didn't they?
Yeah.
You show up, you win a race. Exactly,
and yeah.
And now we've thought about it, that might be the most impressive thing Hamilton's done in his entire career.
Possibly.
Would be finish 6th in a championship without getting a podium.
It's quite a Hulkenberg type stat, isn't it? But
Hamilton is the new Hulkenberg.
He is. He could be. But regardless, you've got basically every midfield driver battling, apart from Alex Albon, within a shout of finishing 9th in the championship. And I know no
apart
one
from Alex Albon and Colapinto.
Yeah, and I would probably discount Bortoleto because I don't really see him gaining, what would that be, 24 points?
He basically needs to win.
Well, 3 6th places would do it if no one else scores points, but I doubt
people are going to have to score points. Yeah,
exactly. So, but yeah, I would obviously like Hulkenberg to do it. What I think might happen is Behrman might do it because he's rocketed from 19th up to 11th across the last 3 races.
I mean, we spoke about Behrman earlier on in the year. We both said he's had a really underrated season. It's not. I think P11 is absolutely where he deserves to be for how many times he finished 11th overall. But I would not complain if he somehow ends up 9th.
And you know what? He's been doing incredibly well recently as well. And Esteban Ocon needs to really put his finger out, otherwise he's going to
buck up his ideas.
He's going to be one of these drivers who just vanishes from the grid and no one cares. A bit like Kevin Magnussen. So, yeah, I think Behrman's doing incredibly well. I think if he has a strong 26, he's definitely getting that Ferrari seat for 27.
Depending on how Lewis does, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, we'll see. But Hulkenberg in that Sauber, I know the Sauber was decent for a very short period of time. I think if he can get 9th in the car, which is probably, I would say maybe 7th or 8th best overall, of course.
It's so difficult to say, isn't it?
It is.
That. It's been one of. It has honestly. I think we kind of look back at the ground effect era, maybe with, not the greatest kind of love for it or anything. But I would say the midfield fight most years has been sensational.
Yeah, but then that's kind of always been the case in F1 in a way.
But more so this year, the fact that
just
pretty much anybody has had a chance.
Yeah.
Well, the fact at the moment that let me just double check this quickly. Alpine can get a 1-2. And still only just jump Sauber for 9th is wild.
Yeah, they're 40 points behind Sauber. So even because a 1-2 is obviously never going to happen with a driver who's not scored points all season. But even if they got a Interlagos 24 repeat, where they get second and third,
they'd still be last.
They would still be last. And the fact Sauber on 62 points and 9th is a bit mad.
That's also insane.
Yeah. Yeah, but fair play to everyone else, because I think VCarb especially have really had 2 drivers performing at a decent level, and probably the fastest car at that lot, because
I think they've had the most consistent car, apart from obviously Williams.
The Williams has been better than most, yeah. But
I it's still hilarious, isn't it? You kind of look at the big 7, and then it's just kind of Albon has been there all by himself all year.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point he was having a decent fight with Antonelli, but Antonelli now has kicked on in that Mercedes, and sensibly Albon shouldn't have been able to beat him unless Antonelli did really struggle all year. I think probably I want to say Hadjar will hold on to that spot, but then I say that I don't think it'll be a good car in Vegas. They were terrible at Monza, weren't they?
He's not got the spot yet. Hulkenberg's still
no,
9th.
But they're tied, and I think he'll have him.
I think it'll be between Hulkenberg or Behrman.
I think Hadjar will have them both. I reckon it'll be Hadjar, Behrman, Hulkenberg.
But Alonso's also 3 points back, and he's, the Aston could be good.
Aston Martin won't score.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know. It could be a little Lance Stroll.
It won't be a little Lance Stroll. I do know many things. It won't be Lance Stroll.
He's only 11 points back. Wrong. He could just get a
If
random
Lance
podium.
Stroll finishes 11th this season, Jamie, what do you want me to do on the podcast?
That's a great question.
Delete it.
Yeah, delete channel. Send me the earnings. That'd be great.
Okay, I can do that if you want. It's in a pot ready to go if you do
Be
want.
about £4 probably, if that. Right, let's digress again. We're getting very distracted today. And I want my quiz. Yeah, do the quiz.
You want your quiz? That's fine. It's a fairly easy one, this week's quiz, actually. There's only 7 answers. Who won... there's not 7 answers to this question. Who won this Grand Prix last year, Jamie?
George Russell, I believe.
He did. You are going to have 1 singular minute.
Oh, no.
2, give me... Let me get me clock up. Here we go. 1 minute. Timer. There we go. You've got 1 minute, Jamie183, to tell me every Formula 1 driver that George Russell has shared a podium with. Your time starts now.
If I get one wrong, it's fine.
Yeah, you. No, if you get one wrong, it's over.
What? Okay, Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
Surely Charles Leclerc.
Yes.
Max Verstappen.
Yes.
Kimi Antonelli.
Incorrect.
No, he has. You idiot.
When?
In Canada this year.
Yes, he did. I forgot to add that to my quiz. Carry on. There's 8 answers, maybe.
Is this when Russell has won? Or is it
just Russell on the podium.
Every race. Okay.
I forgot how many you're up to. I think it's 4.
Sergio Perez.
Correct.
Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris.
Correct. 15 seconds.
Carlos Sainz.
Correct! There you go.
Is that everyone? Come on.
Carlos Sainz, this was the one, because I said to Jamie pre-show, I was like, you should get all of these. I was like, there might be one you struggle with, but he shows up surprisingly often. I'm pretty certain every time George Russell's ever finished on the podium, Carlos Sainz has been there.
I was thinking
It's
back
bizarre.
of this year. What's the other ones? Brazil was 22.
Baku this year, let me have a look again. I'll have to try and get me back up.
I feel like Brazil 22 Sainz might have got 3rd, or I might be making that up.
It's the amount of weird ones. Like, for example, not that one, to be fair.
Well, George Russell is the king of going do nothing, finish P3. So there's a lot of random podiums that you just would forget he's been on.
But it's a lot of the ones as well where kind of all the big names kind of just ended up nowhere. So it ended up being George and Carlos. I'm trying to go back through all my data.
Year, yeah.
So far, it's just all Hamilton and Verstappen so far.
Sainz was on the podium in Austria last year, which is quite a forgettable race because it just ended up with the crash. Well, it's quite a forgettable podium, sorry, because all the focus was on Verstappen and Norris crashing out.
I'm looking back through my data. Apparently, it's never happened.
Great.
Sao Paulo 22. Yep, absolutely spot on. God, George got 2 podiums in 23.
I know, it was trash.
That's wild. Yeah, that's insane. Hamilton cooked him, the fraud. This is what I thought. This happened loads. It just hasn't.
Well,
yeah. So Austria 24 as well. Didn't happen in Baku. Happened Vegas 24 as well.
Really?
Yep. And then obviously Azerbaijan this year. Exactly, yeah, this is what I mean. Just it's those odd races where they just both seem to appear on the podium.
Fair enough. Well, I smashed it. I actually got more than 100% because you didn't include Kimi Antonelli.
You got 114% on this week's quiz. Why didn't I remember Kimi? Because I was trying to click through all of his podiums and like obviously tab open them and stuff. But there you go. You got 8 out of 8, Jamie. Not even 7 out of 7. You're just that good.
We should do our
it's the big one.
And then finish.
It's the big one. Because the championship permutations, I believe... What's the scores on the doors?
I'm on 72, you're on 55.
So a 17-point buffer. If you outscore me this weekend, it is over.
How many points are left after this? We got
18.
18 points left. Oh, it could be it. I could be getting
I will win a tiebreaker, though. Simply based on the fact that I edit these.
Right, yeah. You're just going to edit out every time I make my predictions. 0 points.
I'd never even thought of that, yeah.
You get to go first.
I do.
17 points.
I'm not sure I want to. It's so difficult to call Vegas, isn't it, man?
Yeah, Vegas is a bit weird. And it's also Tuesday, so we can't, like... Occasionally we get this after free practice or after the teams do their interviews and stuff.
Yeah. Max Verstappen.
On pole.
Yep. Max Verstappen. Win.
Right.
Just simply for the fact, obviously, again, if I get this wrong, I'm not too worried because I know that Verstappen hasn't won. Andrea Kimi Antonelli. I'm going to have to go
Gosh.
big. I have to go ballsy. Oscar Piastri.
Annoyingly, that was very close to what I would have predicted.
Well, you can't now, my friend.
All right,
Max, Antonelli, Oscar. I'm losing it this weekend.
I will say George Russell on pole.
Back to back.
I will say George Russell will win.
Okay, back to back.
I will say... Is it dumb to not include a McLaren driver on the podium at Vegas?
I mean, they've never had a podium at Vegas before.
No, never. In all 2 runnings, they've never had a podium.
In all 2 runnings of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, it's never happened.
I will say...
What's mad as well about Vegas is Hulkenberg's never had a podium here.
No way. That's crazy.
Oh, I know.
You could say that about 23 of the 24 venues.
You could. And every other venue that's ever existed.
Apart from Silverstone, the greatest race of all time.
Apart from Silverstone.
I want to put
Mad,
Anthony
isn't it,
second,
that this year's British Grand Prix wasn't even the best of the ground effect. It was arguably the 3rd best of the ground effect era.
No, it was the best to
and
me.
Hulkenberg on a podium.
It was the best to me. I want to put Anthony second, but because I'm a good guy, I'll put Verstappen second.
Okay.
And I feel like putting Anthony third is a bit sly because that means we've basically matched our podiums. So I'll say Norris. For the record, I wanted to put Russell, Antonelli, Verstappen.
Okay, I like
You
it.
beat me to
I
it.
like it. Yep, I beat you to it. I'm basically just picking what I know Jamie wanted to.
Exactly.
That way, when I get it wrong and he gets it right, I have an excuse
Exactly.
that I strongly dislike him.
Yeah.
Is that everything, Jamie? I think we've rambled on pretty successfully for about half an hour.
Fair play. That was a ramble.
That was a good rambly episode. But we like our rambly episodes because they're going to be coming thick and fast between now and the end of the year. And then we need to work out what we're going to do over the winter.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Any ideas, let us know. Creative department
another
could be
iceberg or
outsourced
something.
to the comments.
Exactly. Thank you all, though, as always, so much for listening. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And Jamie and I will return, I assume it'll be very early next week, to review the Las Vegas Grand Prix.